Check, check. Welcome in, team Avenger. It is good to be back. Not gonna lie, man, I'm a little bit tired, but did some charting 30 minutes before this, kind of get my brain going, get back in the groove, and update some charts. But it was a great vacation for sure. But I definitely need one more day of sleep. Any cool stories? Well, I took a shower in a lake for 5 days, so that's cool. Uh, Seen a bunch of bears, bunch of deer. It was cool, man. Definitely interesting. I hike all the time. I've been hiking for 10 or 12 years, but it's usually kind of a base camp. You know, you hike 4 or 5 miles, 6 miles, 8 miles, whatever it is. You go back, and you have your car, and you have, you know, some sort of a market if you need it. But this was like 5 days in the backcountry, totally off the grid. Did Ray Lakes Loop? It's we'll spend a couple minutes. I'll make sure we go along with you guys, so it's not too off topic if this is totally stupid to some people. But let me see if I can find it real quick. So we did this loop here. It's like 42 miles. So 9 miles camped here, 9 miles camped here, short 3 miles Ray Lakes, up over the pass, and then 16 miles back to the car. But um, it was fun. It was fun for sure. For sure, a fun trip. We'll give a couple more minutes. We got 13 or 14 people. I'll show you guys a little bit of yep, by Fresno, yeah. See if I can do this without screwing this up here. So I was like some of our views there. That's up at Ray Lakes. Super, super nice weather. There's cold. It's only like 60, but super, super nice weather as a campsite. Halfway up Glen Pass.
Switchbacks all the way to the top. 8:30 to 10:23. We're at the top of Glen Pass. New record for me. 11,000.
Yeah, we started all the way down there at the bottom, but there's a bear right there. Not too bad. Then spent the last 2 days in Sequoia. If you guys ever been to Sequoia or want to go to Sequoia, definitely go, man. Just some giant freaking trees will freaking blow your mind, dude. Giant trees. Yeah, man. The whole loop was like 42 miles, I think. So pretty badass. Pretty badass. Cool, guys. Sorry about the detour delay. Yeah, put some stocks in the chat. I'm looking at the chat here. I got them. All right, got a few I missed up on. We'll definitely go long, so I know we're like 7 or 8 minutes over. So what do we got here? JK wants Tesla. I'm looking at the charts, man. It's like Q's put a new all-time high in, and it's like big tech, my big tech watch list didn't do anything. Apple had kind of a shit week, but Tesla boomed, and it looked like Google maybe. BITF. I think that's a new one. We'll hit that one for sure. Jeremiah, Vertiv, is that the abbreviation or is that the name of the company? Unmute or let me know in the chat. So I can look it up. Okay. VRT. Okay, cool. Cool. VRT. iPhone, look for a call set this week. Couple weeks out on GRRR and ARQ from the 21st May. Cool. Just writing these down, guys. Give me 1 second. Z wants Google. Yep, take a look at that one. Robs, a little bit of SoFi could have in your Robs. SoFi BAC, cool. And again, you guys, when I get to your ticker, I give you speaking permissions if you want. Sometimes it's just easier to talk over a trade. Excuse me. Once I'm talking about it versus a text, because the text on Zoom is really, really crappy. But with that, you guys, I'll keep the chat open. I'll kind of look for more requests that come through, but let's dive in. Let's see if I can get this going, get my brain working. As usual, or like I like to do every week, I like to start in SPY and QQQ. Pretty cut and dry for me, at least for SPY, the S&P 500. Some things I'm looking for this week. Again, I've been out of the game for, it was only 5 days, but seems like an eternity. I was out last week here, and it looks like we just continue to push higher. So first and foremost thing I'm seeing, I'm glad we didn't close at just an all-time high. We closed in this upper range here. So on the 30-minute chart here, this is kind of my focus this week because it is 2 days of a little bit of consolidation, 2 days of bouncing. It's not multiple days or multiple weeks, that is, but it is a few days. So what's most important to me is you see we pushed up, this would have been Thursday, a big push up in the morning. It looks like consolidation, a little bit of a breakout, and we kind of closed kind of in this pocket here. We'll just call it 657. Oops, phone on silent, sorry. 657 to kind of 651, 57.8. So you see we push up. We got these top wicks here. Let's get those drawings going again. So Thursday, a little bit of rejection zone. We just never really closed over that Thursday. We kind of danced around it on Thursday. Friday, what did we do? This range here from Thursday, this bottom afternoon range. So this is the afternoon trading zone. And this bottom range here, we keep seeing those bounces off there. Sellers never got to close under that. What do we do Friday? Wicks on the bottom, bounces up. And what happened when we finally got an engulfing candle over here, over this zone here, we pushed up for a new all-time high. And And then ultimately a little bit of sell off. I don't know if that was news or just some profit takers taking some profit on this move here. And so again, this bounce here is really what I'm looking for, this 657 to 657.19. So that's the first plan of attack for me, you guys. Going into the week, of course, I'm going to take a little bit slow, but any bounces and holds of this, I'll be looking. I'm mainly just a day trader, unless I see a really good swing setup, but I'll be looking for other positions if SPY and QQ are holding this level to play the call bounces off here and or to get in positions that would correlate to the S&P 500 as well. So if we stay bullish, I think it's best to look for calls up here, guys. Obviously, if we kind of gap up and we move quick, you don't want to be chasing all-time highs, but as long as this holds, we see when we sell a little bit, it could be a fake out. I'm on the 30-minute chart, a little bit of a fake out there, meaning we didn't close under it, and fake outs all day long here on Thursday. So a little bit tricky. We don't want to jump the gun here. If we sell a little bit under here, we need some confirmation. So really, for me, probably under these Thursday wicks. So a clear under 657. Does that kind of make sense, everyone? I can try to be more detailed if I need to, but I really don't want to be in puts until kind of this level closes and we break under that, because then there's probably a little bit of a volume gap here, not a lot of volume traded because it appeared to move so quickly versus a little bit of volume building up here. So if we crack that move will probably be fairly quick to the downside. So again, that's SPY. We'll look at QQQ here. Kind of the same thing. We don't have many days of consolidation because QQQ closed in the upper range, but this thicker line here is kind of what I'm focusing on again. So again, you see resistance, we finally break out over. I talk it in my tab all the time and in lectures. Breakout, retest. This is the retest right here. The bottom side is wick. So we engulf, this candle engulfs the resistance. We open here, we retest it, and boom, we move up. So that's kind of my focus tomorrow. Any opens over, do we retest and bounce and go? If that happens, I'm expecting to see a move like this, continuation move, and tag the all-time high again. Any sells below, it's kind of to the flip side. So if we open, so pre-market action, we open under it, I expect to see a retest there. Do we clear it? I don't know. Do we reject it and kind of trickle down? I'm not saying we have a 2% red day, but we can trickle down here. Possible these wicks here, possible this support here, even down here. But that's kind of what I'm looking for on QQQ. Any questions at all? If so, open your mic, let me know. If not, I'll get to the requests for you guys. Don't see anything in the chat. All right. Back up to JK wants Tesla. Monster move. Did this get news, guys? Let me know, or just have a nice kick-ass Friday. Tesla loves to move on Friday, but let me know if they got news. But so we've talked about it in the weeks leading up to this. Quickly to go over here, that 357 was the level to watch. 357 all day long. I said, don't be late to 357. If you're looking up here, if we see the move, you don't want to take calls at 357, but a breakout of that, very, very possible for a big move. And what happened last week? Just a little charting lesson here. I'm on the 30-minute. That 30-minute engulfed it. They back tested it. Boom. Sellers are trapped. Big move on. They're trying to get out of position. Aggressive buying leading to that big forceful move up. So resistance all day long. Same thing, consolidation, you guys. Consolidation leads to breakouts or breakdowns and that big move up there. So where are we at, where we're going on Tesla? JK, are you in something or just wanting some perspective here? I don't see anything in the chat, or I'll wait for you to unmute. If you're in this, let me know. That way I can kind of say, hey, you should be trimming here, looking for this. But if I don't see anything from you in the chat, I'll just keep going. So I'm going to need to zoom out to probably the daily here to kind of see where the heck we're at on this chart here. So holding a put. You don't have to say what percent you're down if you're not comfortable. What day and where out on the chart? Like, was it at 350, 351? Because I can kind of show you what I'd be looking for here, because we did fully engulf this 390, 394 zone here. So 350, oh, I got 357. That would, obviously it's in hindsight, man, you're probably really hurting on this trade. That would have been a cut, but you're still in. So let me kind of show you what we need here from Tesla. So really under this 390 here, because as of now, this is CR, send me a DM. I'll send you some nature eye candy for sure. JK, 390 here. So we see this big breakout here and kind of dance around this green line here back. This would be 10 months ago or 9 months ago, basically, December of last year. And we sold through and it never made back up. It's been on a march and it just broke out a huge, huge candle the last 2 days. Cannot deny that. Not going to sugarcoat it. I know your inputs, but really, man, if I'm being truthful, it expires in 5 days. You're probably down a lot. You know, I would still cut it and just use that money and just move on from the loss, because trading psychology, guys, the quicker you cut a loss, the quicker you can move on from it and not think about it. But when it sits in your portfolio, you know, you open Robinhood or Webull every day and you just stare at something, it's just going to eat alive at you. So it's best to just cut, you know, take the bad loss, whatever it is, and chip away at some good wins, some smaller wins. And, you know, soon in a few days or a couple of weeks, you're not going to think about that loss. But you really need, JK, you need this close and sell under 390. But if you took puts here somewhere last Thursday, you need a lot. But I would not be averaging down a losing play on this at all. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. 400 was that magnet. It's up over it. It could hit that 415, but you need some closes under 390 this week, and you only have, you know, 5 days left. And so we could talk more in DMs, but that is a position that's probably hurting you. Hopefully you're not in too heavy on that, man. Sorry about that one. All right. BITF. Bit Farms. All right, let's take a look at it. You want to be in this swing trade, day trade? What do you got on this one? Let me know. Feel free to open your mic so I can kind of guide you along here best I can. Swing. Bullish, bearish? What are you in? That way kind of help you if you're looking for it. But I like this. Someone had me charted a time or two. We got 2 lines here, and we got a trend line break. So I really like this 2 to 206. This is a cheapy name. All right. So daily chart here broke out, or didn't break out, didn't get the close over or right at 2 on Thursday. A back test of it. Buyer stepped in. Gotta love that. So I zoomed in. Look here. Definitely, if you're looking for swing trades, any back tests of this 206 level here, definitely keep riding that. If you're already in it, hopefully you're trimming. If you got this huge breakout here, again, on the 4 hour, let me zoom here a little bit, 264. So definitely be looking. Some quick chart in here, guys, but so that 2.37 and that 2.58. So we see that rejection here. Hopefully, if you can't see well enough, let me know. I can zoom in. But that rejection, breakout, and then the retest bounces, and then the failed, and it continues down. Failed continues down. A little bit of bounce here, and then we sold, and then that cluster again. Same thing. I like to find those swing highs and lows in the market. That's the best points of entry for me. Best exit strategy that I find for my trading. And now get out of drawing mode. So we'll zoom back to present day, and we can see that price action, how it's respecting here. So definitely be selling if you haven't sold that 276. If that hits that 2.76 again, I would definitely be trimming some. Don't be greedy. I like this level here. Some back test levels, if you want to get back in, definitely this 2.58 and this 237, because we can see that reaction, that little cluster there, breakout. Hopefully this after hours move holds for you, definitely. See how much that volume, how much we believe that, but very, very nice charting there. Getting a little extended, not going to lie, so there could be some profit takers or some consolidation, but definitely this 275, 276, definitely be trimmed there if you have not already. But send me a DM if you want some more analysis on this, because that's decent setup so far for you guys. Jeremiah, yep, still in here. All right. That was VRT, looking for a long, he says. VRT. Ooh, consolidation, a little bit of pull back. Let's check the daily. All right. Get a few lines for you, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, are you talking like leaps, couple weeks out, couple months? Kind of what's your style, man? Let me know, and I can kind of help you a little more detailed on where I'd be looking, because I see a couple things I do like here for sure. You guys can definitely jump on the mic. Don't be shy. So the daily chart here, I'm seeing this little kind of break over. In 3 days, it's held this support. So this 13343 kind of ish zone. That's kind of what I'm eyeing. What I'd be eyeing, as I like to. Oh, I'm seeing something pretty nice right here, actually. So this is kind of what you want this week. It's kind of let's see here. A little bit of decision time this week on this name. A couple touches here. Cool. All good, man. All good. So if you're not in yet, I would watch this reaction here. Pretty much any brokerage you got should be able to set alerts on it. I would definitely set an alert for this thick line here, this 13343. We see when we get into that level. So Wednesday pre-market opened pretty much at it, and then boom, totally engulfed it. Everyone trying to short there, trapped. So we're kind of trickling down, hit some resistance, broken through the most recent support. We'll call this upper kind of mid-rangey here, and then this lower level here that I would think needs to hold, and what you should be looking for on calls. You said leaps, so we definitely have a good game plan here. So definitely you can see the reaction, big reaction when we get down to that level there. One could argue I could probably adjust my line and cheat that a little bit, but again, like I say every week, you guys, look at the candlesticks and what they're telling you. When you see a huge long wick to the bottom side, that means sellers started this 1 hour candle here. They sold, they cheered, they started taking the screenshot of their gains, and boom, a big bounce up, and the candle closed pretty much right where it started. So that tells you buyers kicked in down here and they pushed that all the way up. So any trickles into here, you can take a first entry. And what I would do, I know you said leaps, but just some quick charting here. You have the daily 20 and the daily 9 stacked right there. So if I were to go to the daily time frame, these two moving averages are stacked underneath you. So any trickles down here, you take a partial entry. Anything into here, you want to watch this reaction here, because you're gonna have two moving averages stacked up right there. So if you take an entry tomorrow, just hypothetically enter here, it kind of holds down here, doesn't do much. Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, we got Pal on the mic, I believe. So we kind of trickle in here, but we hold here, you're right on the trade, that's fine. You have a nice support here and two moving averages right here. This is what you want to see hold, because again, a zoomed out look. That is, I know this isn't zoomed in, give me 1 second here. So daily time frame, again, we take entry here. These are those 2 moving averages I was telling you about. So you can see when they're clustered up here, provide bounces, bounce, bounce. We sell through the rejection, rejection, rejection to the downside, rejection, rejection, rejection. They're not underneath this. So what I was getting at is, if you take an entry here and you start seeing red instantly, you got time. You are relying on this big cluster of support here. Are you hopeful? When it comes into here, you want to see buyers stepping in. You know, we may consolidate, that's okay, but it means sellers are not breaking below that. That's what you want to see. So any break below this kind of this 128 to 127 pocket, you may have to say, hey, maybe it's not the right time, even though they are leaps. For me, you gotta have risk management. Doesn't matter how much time you have. I'm not gonna let something go, 60, 70, 80% red and then bounce back and take, 10, 15%, pat myself on the back. Like if something breaks support, this is a big support. If it breaks it, I move on from the trade. Obviously, you guys probably seen that if someone took my KO trade. Yeah, it expires in October, I think, but it broke the last two supports I expected it to hold. I'm out of the trade. I'm going to move on this week, and that's what it is. Hopefully this pays you though. But again, like usual, send me a DM if you want to chat about it more, for sure. All right. Go in order here. iPhone SE 2.0, you are not here. You're getting skipped. I'm sorry. Got to be present to win. Z, where you at? All right, Google. I understand you guys have families, might have to log off, but I don't want to talk about a trade if you're not in it, just for time's sake. If you're not in the chat, that is. Google puts expire this week. Where did you enter on the chart, Z? Like what level on the chart? So I can kind of mark it out, kind of show you what I'd be looking for, what you would need. A little bit consolidation. I don't. Bummer, you're red, so red 30%. Well, where at on the chart do you remember you entered 238, 239? So I can kind of show you what I need here, but we definitely see some consolidation. Top side failed breakouts, which is good for your puts, and bottom side bounces, which is not good for your puts. So clear and obvious range here for sure. I see a couple requests rolling in. I'll get to them in order, guys. Appreciate that. Let's get this chart out for you for sure. Definitely this range here. Definitely a range. So it expires this week. All right, around 238. All right, so you entered. All right. So it expires this week and you're down and your entry is pretty much at support if you enter at 238. So if you're in a half position, we have two options. You cut for a loss without averaging down, or what you do is you enter at the clear top range. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many tests we got here? 4 or 5 tests here. So if we push up here, Z, to 245, this is if you want to hold your puts. So I'm not trying to have you add on more risk, but if you're going to take an average, this is the obvious spot to average. If we break out, meaning a clear breakout over all these topside wicks, you cut the trade. You don't take any more averages because you don't. We broke the range. iPhone SE, you're back in. Perfect. I'll get your request. If we break this top range, that is the range from the week, and it's probably going to go more. Don't keep averaging down a loss. You cut your puts, you play the breakout on calls, and you forget about the loss in your puts and you move on. But if you do want to take an average here, or option number 2, you need a break under 240. So as we can see here, 1 second. Yeah, that's damn drawing mode. Nice big compressed chart here. So we can see every time 240 bounces and holds, continue move up, continue hold up. When 240 fails, what do we see? Big move to the downside, big move to the downside, move to the downside, move to the downside. So you either average in once and hope you can, get out of break even this week because you're running short on time, or a break under this, take your average. And if you entered here at 238, obviously on the chart, somewhere in between here, you're going to be break even. You're going to have a little bit of theta, over this weekend, but hopefully you can get out with some profit. But again, I'm not going to take puts until I get a confirmed support break or confirmed topside rejection for sure. But you're not down enormously. I just hate that you're short on time. So it's going to make this trade a little bit tough. But again, send me a DM if you want to work through it some more. And we'll try and get you out of some profit for sure. All right. iPhone SE, GRR, is it 3 R's? GRR, 3 R's? Gorilla Technology. If it's not that, stop me now, but if it is, let's roll with it. Let's see. Yep, cool. Swings, day trade, looking for entry. All right, on a swing play, let me know in the chat. I got your attention now. Swing, all right. Couple things here. This yellow line we haven't talked about tonight is the daily 200 moving average. So 200-day moving average moves slow. That's why it's almost a straight line. It's 200 days of information. Green line is the 20 daily, and the yellow, or excuse me, can't talk. The purple is the 9. So one moving average overhead resistance, 2 underneath as support. I'm liking the setup. Let's find you an entry. So definitely what I'm seeing here, one line chart just to start this out. So you can kind of see, I know it's a little bit of a range here, $2 range, but you can see we get over this kind of the 17.6 to 17 zone, push, move over it. We engulf it, we sell through. What do we seek? Selling pressure to the downside. Failed breakout, selling pressure to the downside. We're now over it. And as of now, we're seeing bounces underneath us, and a zoomed in look to prove it. Definitely what I like to see here. So clear and obvious. A little bit of top range rejection here, get some middle range price action for you. But best case scenario, let me zoom out just a little bit here. Anything, man, anything off this 17.66. Again, we see that reaction, breakout, continuation. We hold it, we hold it, we hold it. Any sells into here, you buy your dip. So I want to buy calls on sell, you guys, meaning I'm not trying to time this breakout of, rejection, 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 and a daily 200. I don't, just the way I trade, I'm not buying a call up here, trying to get the breakout that doesn't come, instant red, instant red, instant red. No, I'm buying down here when calls run sell on support, because I know if we break this support and this moving average and this moving average, we're probably going to sell more. But if we bounce, I am very confident on my swings, whether it's a month out, couple months out, whatever it is. So I would set iPhone, I would definitely set an alert for somewhere around the 17.6. That would be a blessing if we can get that this week and this holds, because that is very, very low risk and very, very high reward potential on this move here. That'd be super nice if you can catch a whole dollar move up here. If we sell through that, your risk is low. You're pretty much going to sell, depending on how much time you have under these wicks here. But super nice trade. And again, consolidation is just a top zone and a bottom zone and a trading range inside it. That's all consolidation is, and that's what it's doing. So you can even take your calls here, sell your calls, get your puts, sell your puts down here, get your calls, because this could trade, if I wanted to, it could trade for weeks. We just don't know. It just depends. Decent setup though, very, very nice. Let's see, let me check time here. Yep. Cool. Yeah, and I'll get to your ARQQ in just 1 second. I want to make sure we got some more stuff rolling in here. Rob's in here. Rob's perfect. SoFi. Let's check it. What you doing on this, Rob's? Looking for a swing day trade? Looking to trim? What are you doing? Nice day.
Hey, what's up, 1K?
Doing good, man. How are you, man?
Good. I'm not in anything on these two names that I put in here right now. I just haven't had time to get to my charts this weekend, and I don't really like to swing over the weekend, but I do a little bit of day trading and swing trading. I just wanted some perspective.
Sure. Yeah, let's chart this top side here. Definitely top
These
side
two
range.
have been my bread and butter lately. I like the options, and the spreads are really tight on their contracts, and they trade pretty good. So
yeah, I mean, dude, when you can find just a couple of tickers and just play them over and over, like that's the beauty. You don't need to freaking trade something new every single week. Like I hate trading new. I love chart new stuff for you guys for education, but I would hate to trade something new every week and have to chart it out and find levels. But so I'm looking at this top range here. I have no idea what it looks like looking left, but we're gonna look left and see what we're doing.
near all time that much. Or, yeah.
Let's check the weekly here. What we got going on here? All right, SoFi is fighting back from getting its butt whooped for 4 years. It says, "Hey guys, I'm back," and it is back. So I'm gonna go back one more year. It looks like. Yeah, so definitely not gonna say buyers are weak. I'm gonna say there's probably some profit taking going on here, Rob. So this hopefully you can see all the way left here. Let me keep zooming in here. So I'm on the weekly. So this right here is out of drawing mode.
You know, it's funny. I got it on my chart, that exact zone that you got labeled. I got it labeled as bag holders because people probably bought that.
Honestly, because yeah, if you're in here and like if you're red, you know there's someone out here relief selling going, holy shit, I'm finally out of this. I'm selling after 4 years. So this is February 21st, 2021. And this big level here, this 25 level, top side rejection, and finally broke over it. Now it is acting as support. So gotta love that. Couple quick lines here. Get that weekly wick and weekly wick and candle body there. Hang with me one sec. All right. Get back in the drawing mode. Oops, I want to zoom in just a little bit. So yeah, clear and obvious topside rejection from, let's just call it bag holder level. Definitely what I want to see here. Let me zoom in just a little bit here. Yeah. So
I'd
swing
be
trade
surprised if there's still
possibilities.
people holding for 4 years that bought that top, but I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So at least, I mean, this is just my perspective, brother. So how I trade, as of now, we're over that. So let's color this green and we're going to treat this as support, support that has to hold. So it's clear and obvious. There's two possible entries here for swing. So this red zone here, which was resistance, we've seen big resistance. What I would play, I know it's kind of rough charting here, but this 26.6 to 26.8, any breakouts and holds over that, we're not just picking a random level. We're saying, hey, resistance, it didn't quite get here. Resistance, 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 you get the point. It flips, it holds, it is now we treat that as support. So when it was getting smacked down, now we want to see bounces this week. Potentially, we got a lot of data. We got Powell, we got Fed rate cuts possibly. So option number one, any hold of this, I would feel confident to take some swings. I know if I were to like compress the chart or expand the chart quite a bit, this is like, well, that's a big move sell down. But this is, we're talking 26.75 to 26.57. So again, very nice reward at the top and possible nice small risk below. So it depends how much time you want on this trade, brother. If you take a trade here, and let's just say 2 weeks out trade, if we break this, I'm not a holder. That's just me. Again, I know it's only like 15 cents, but it says, hey, this top side zone here, if we get under that and we start rejecting, then it just gives me more reason to think, hey, we're going to keep doing this rejection again. And I don't want to be just bag holding calls when I see the rejection. I could take, a 15, 20, 25% loss, jump into puts and forget about the call trade that, I had a little bit of bias on. So that's option number one for me. If we never get this, let's just say they kind of fizzle this after hours candle out, we kind of open into here and we sell through this. What I would do with caution, you can day trade your puts down into here, but really, man, this 25.85, like if we can get a back test of that level, like that's more what I would want to play for swings, because any back test into here, we're going to be closer to our moving averages. So this 25.85, I love this for calls. I know you guys like to play SoFi, so if you want to take a screenshot or write it down, I love this level here because we have a lot more volume into here of recent price action, and we can see hold it, we don't hold, sell through, breakout, nice move over, sell through, sell through, sell through, sell through, sell through, big breakout. What do? We back test it. Sellers say, okay, we're selling through it again. Nope. Big breakout, nice 25.85 to nice $1 move on this name. That's a huge move. So ideally, man, I mean, I know you want to be bullish, but take it here with caution. But I would almost probably follow you on this trade here. Some October, November's if we can get
I
this.
play what the chart tells me, not necessarily wanting to be bullish, but just kind of playing what it says to do.
Yep. Let's see what we get this week, man. I'm gonna put an alert right here. I kind of want to see what we get this week. Another one down here because I know Nando's got this name on lockdown. He's super good trading this. I like this name as well. I used to flip shares on this dang thing all the time back in the
I got
days.
shares in this name in my long-term port since like 10 and 14 bucks. I've been just holding.
There you go, man. There you go. Probably feels good to be up, but yeah, nice setup, man. Let me know if you take something this week and update me on it for sure, man. But very nice name, nice request for sure. And I'll get to I'll swing back with Bank of America if we got some time, man.
Oh man, no worries.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, Avenger, what's up, brother? What do we got? Starbucks, SBUX, SBUX. Man, if Starbucks gets ass kicked, I bet KO is too. I know I stopped that one. Yep. Man, could not get any love. Starbucks, are you in? I think Sharky has a trade. Are you in that? Or are you in something on yourself or with on your own? Oh, SNPS, sure. I see in the chat. We'll flip that. No problem. SNPS. Looking for an entry or looking for share buys or leaps? All right, let's zoom out. New name for me. Ooh, earnings. All right. All right. All right. Got a nice haircut. Man, is that for real? Did they kill their CEO and say they're going bankrupt? Damn, 37%. Whew. All right. Let's get some drawings here. Let's grab this wick. Looking left. Makes sense there. Where is this guy sitting? Consolidation. So grabbing this wick here, looking left, consolidation bottom range, consolidation breakout, back test the consolidation zone, bounce, ugly sell, bounce here, Avenger. Top side, what do you got working against you? If and when you get in. Again, kind of quick charting, grabbing these wicks here, wick there, consolidation, this little range here. And what we got here, kind of this middle range. I'll zoom in for you in just 1 second. All right, definitely bouncing some big levels here. All right, so big picture again, daily, we can see this thick line, bounces, sell through, follow through, kind of pinned here. So that is the first plan of action on some shares. And I'm not good with a number percent, so I'm going to cheat here. How big of a drawdown is that? 10%. That's my bread and butter for shares. All right, so shares and leaps, I believe you said. Yep. So what I would do, quick charting. Obviously, I don't know this company. I don't know why they got whacked that bad. As long as maybe there's some good with the company, it is still a company to buy into, is what I'm trying to get at. First and foremost, this 425.7, we've seen we're on the daily chart, that thick line there. That's the first plan of action to watch this week. So we got the kill candle on earnings. We pushed up, we consolidated back to an old level. We broke out, we back tested, and sellers made no progress to the downside. So for me, that says buyers, sellers are just kind of half-assing it, or buyers are a little more aggressive and they're stepping in here as if you want to be bullish. That's a good thing to see. So first and foremost, I think it's an okay share buy right here, because we've seen back down to this next thick line is about 10.8%. So that's kind of what I look for on share buys. How I like to trade shares, everyone's different, but I tell myself if I'm going to buy Apple at a support, I say, okay, where's the next big Apple support? It's about 10% away. I like to do stuff like that. I don't like to buy shares, somewhere up here and then, let them go red 60%, even though the shares, no expiration. I don't want to be a back holder. So first and foremost, shares and leaps is 425.71. I like this level here. Did we miss GNS? I don't think so. Hopefully I didn't skip you. I'm going in order. I'm normally pretty slow, but it may be coming up. I'll get to it as quick as I can. 425 and this 380, this 380.110. Those are my two spots to watch, because again, if we were to go back to the daily, we've seen how ugly it gets when this 380 does not hold. But Avenger, we talk a lot in DMs and on Trade For. We can definitely go over this more in depth, but I like this level here. If this holds this week, take a little nibble. I don't know how big your port is, but nibble on some shares or maybe one leap or whatever and save some room to get to, or excuse me, average down. And then just set some alerts down here at this 380 zone here. That's definitely a level to watch. No doubt, ugly chart recently, but it has reclaimed an important support. And again, if I were to have this on here from years ago, that support would make sense. You know, I never delete lines on my stuff, so definitely.
Would you be looking to cut or to add at that 380 if we were to go back down there?
That comes down to risk management. So again, you can see here, we break under this 380. Yeah, I can go 366. You know, I might hold 480 to 366, probably only a few more percent down. Yeah, another 4%. So maybe I should stand corrected. That 366, but so if we break that, brother, you see we bounced it recently in April. If we sell that, you know, that is that's new lows on this year, and that's not something you want to see. So obviously, you know, new lows of the week we talk about, new lows of the day, of the month, whatever. This is a new low of the year. So, you know, our year starting, you know, right here. So you don't want to see that, because if we break this, we're looking left, this little consolidation. I know this, you know, sold owner, but this little cluster here, then this nice cluster here of volume, that's just saying, you know, sellers are giving up, or again, excuse me, buyers are giving up, or sellers are just super aggressive. You know, we sell through that, and that's just going to keep trickling down more. And so again, it's hard with leaps. Everyone does it different, but if I'm taking it support here, you know, let's just say this leap costs $1,000. Like, I don't want to be bag holding. You know, you entered at 425 looking for a bounce, so you probably bought, let's just say, a 460 leap, and we sold down. You know, you were what was that, like $35 out of the money? Now we sell down here. Now you're down at 360, and you bought it. You have a 460 strike, so now you're like $100 out of money. I know I'm not saying you buy that exact leap, but just for perspective,
Right.
you know, we got to play the chart. For me, if we break this zone here, you know, we're breaking all this shit right here, man, that held. Yeah, it's a very big dollar range, but it's like, if we break that, you know, look what happens when we break that. We come down. And so it's tricky. It's tricky to tell people to keep holding the leap, you know, because it expires in 12 months or 16 months, whatever it is. But, you know, it's okay to just cut that, free up that
Reposition.
money, and just, you know, take some other plays on it, you know.
Got it.
Yep. But yeah, man,
Thank you.
keep in touch with this one. Set some alerts and let me know if you get
Will
in on
do.
this one for sure.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, finally getting cut up. CR, you still in here? Perfect. GNS, it's so cheap. Not sure if penny stocks work the same way. All right, let's take a peek. If it's a penny, are you just kind of looking, grabbing a bunch of these? Oh shit, what do we do here? Oh my. Oh me, oh my. Let me zoom in here. Can we zoom in enough? All right, let's chart a penny stock. Let's do it. All right, let's see here. And then Sue, you're up next. Cool. All right, making sure I'm not skipping anybody in chat. All right. So clear and obvious support down here. Again, it's a cheapo, but it's holding its level where it needs to. And top side is probably rejecting where it makes sense. Yep. So what do we know about round psychological numbers? $1, $2, $10, whatever it is. Definitely. So clear and obvious, this 1.13, I would not be trying to get long here at that zone. You want a breakout retest of that to go more. Again, I know we're talking super cheap here. Or resistance, formed support, and now two moving averages underneath are now support. So this 0.92 is a very good buying as well. If you can get a bottom tick here at 0.92, or even somewhere down here at 0.81, that's going to pay you nice. That's going to be a nice payday. Again, it's cheap, but again, I trade in percents, so that's a nice payout right there. But for me, wait for that breakout of a 1.13 to go for more, or try and get this 0.92 to 0.81, because you can see bounce, trickle down, bounce, trickle down. You know, we got a engulfing candle below it, but the next day they fully engulfed it back up and they bought it back up. So definitely playable, definitely recent price action to play off of for sure. Sue, you're still here. Thank you for sticking around. Let me scroll. Shoot, I just read it. What was it, Lulu? Yep. Popular name. Get rid of these drawings here. Ooh, earnings and get its butt whooped. Interesting. All right, let's chart this out down here. A little bit of consolidation, and then it gave way for I don't love that. But let's see where we're at, where we're moving, why we're moving there. $164 basically. Yep. All right. March of this year. Nice consolidation there. What do we need to see hold here if you want to get long? So it broke that. Grab these top side wicks here. So these top side wicks, resistance, resistance, support, sell down, didn't quite get here. Yeah, we're right there pretty much. So big level here, Sue, to if you want to get longs on this name, something to hold. So entry and average or stop loss is that line here. So hang with me, zooming back to present day. So again, this is the price action from ship 2018. All right. This thing is not having a good day recently. So daily chart again, support here. I'm not calling last chance support, but a support where I would grab an entry if you want to try and buy the dip of something oversold, get its butt whooped, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm looking for here is this. I want to see this hold here. So any failed breakouts below multiple days, this is where you take your shot. I've talked to, I think, Crash or maybe somebody else about a name similar to this, but don't go in heavy just because you go, oh, it's a big support, or someone told you it's big support. Not saying Crash did that, but supports can break you guys. So, you know, if this starts to hold here and you start seeing candles like this, that's promising. So any support holds here, this is where you take your shot. And about $2 down is the next, and what I'm calling last chance support. So if you're a swing trader on this name, you've seen we're on the daily. This is a very big level, kind of this 160 here. So if this can hold here, you can buy a dip that's very ugly, and you might get paid. We've had people buy the dip on United Health and got paid very well on shares and swings and leaps and that as well. So if this holds, again, ugly chart, but we buy calls off support, hopefully, that puts it support. If this bounces, you pretty much got in, I'm not going to say risk free, but you got in at a very low risk, because the next support here is a couple bucks down, but this zone has to hold. If you're in, let's say tomorrow, Tuesday, that has to hold. We break this support and we break this one, you don't want to see that, because that's, the chart is going to get very ugly again on this name. But again, if this 160 holds, take your shot. It can definitely pay. And again, haven't talked about tonight, but you know, you catch the bounce. Okay, where do we sell? It's easy. Look left at just price action just from Friday alone. I'd be looking to get any touch of these wicks here. This nice cluster here would be definitely a target 1, target 2, target 3, hypothetically, for a possible day trade. But send me a DM if you need some more help on it. Again, just like that, and get its butt whooped, but there is opportunity if you want to be a bottom feeder for sure. All right. Trying to get caught up here. hard to look at the chat in order and then scroll back to present day. All right, there we go. Perito, you're still here. Thank you for sticking with me. What do you prefer, ASTS or ONTO? I'll pick one or let you pick one. Let me know. Put it in the chat or open your mic. ONTO, perfect. Let's see. All right. Put swing, possibly. All right. ONTO. I think it's a new name. Put swing. Let's see if it makes sense. And I'll let you know what I'm seeing. All right. Topside rejection. Look at those wicks there. Look at, oops. Come on. There we go. Wick, 2, 3. Yep. Love it. Okay. If you want to get in puts, and where are you selling? Let's see here. Again, I'm looking for candle bodies. I'm looking left and right as I hover the cursor. Finding support to the downside. If we're in puts, we need to be selling every time we touch support. Okay. All right. If it were me, here's how I would do this. So I like to trade breakout retest or breakdown retest. So how do we do that? Here's how we do that. If you're not in, I absolutely, if this candle follows through, so if we hold where we closed, anything under 111 Pareto. So if we come in at the open, we sell through it, retest, and that breakout fails, you get your puts here because your risk is low and you're playing to the downside. So if this breakout fails, what are we telling ourselves? We look left, we're failing the support that held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles on Friday. So that's how I like to trade you guys. Again, lowest risk, highest reward probable setup. Can it come down a little bit and fake me out and stop me out? Sure, happens all the time. But how I trade, a break of 111, get your puts, because I want to see price action like this. What happens when we touch 111, failed breakout, rejection, leg it down, leg down, leg down, leg down. That's what we want to see. So a breakdown of this level here, cut and dry, super easy. My stop is somewhere over these wicks here from Friday. So this wick and these candle bodies, if I were to draw a line here, this is your stop out zone. And reward, who knows how far we get, but it's somewhere down here from last week's price action. Easy chart for me when it kind of stair steps like this. Easy. You get your puts here, target 1, target 2, possible target 3. Very, very nice setup as well. I think we talk in DMs a little bit. If not, let me know if you take that. But for me, no puts until 112.65 because you're short in a double top, or a breakdown of afternoon consolidation, which is right here. So I don't like puts anywhere in between here, all willy-nilly, just because if they bounce that, you're going to be hurting pretty quick here. All right. Fidel, you're still here. Appreciate you sticking around. GRAB.
Yep.
Want to start a long stock position, need no best levels. All right. How you doing, man? All right. Thought that was you talking, maybe not. All-time highs, let's hope not. Nope. Looks like a weekly, sorry, not newer IPO. I'm on the weekly here. So definite big level here to watch for sure. Again, guys, just how I trade. I don't care if it's shares or options. I'm not buying the top of the breakout. Just not how I trade, but I see something very nice here and a couple levels on the downside. 50 cents down. Yep. And top side, again, I'm on the weekly. I'll zoom in for you. Give me 1 second here. Let's go over the hourly here. So again, we've seen that kind of 593 to 6 level, big level there. Hopefully, if this after hours action holds, these are the levels that to kind of be watching. If you want to take a screenshot, take a look at them. So 18% down, a little bit of risk if you were to buy in, but you definitely want to start small, even with shares, and you never want to go all in on something. So if you're looking at this name, you're like, hey, I want to put $500 into this name, start out with 200 or 300 bucks. That's just how I do shares. I never go in a full position. If my position size is 500 bucks, I start half or like a third. And so you enter a little bit here. If we dip down, you nibble, and then you catch this bounce here. This holds here because this 5.1 is really big. We see on the daily and the weekly. Also, if this 5.1 holds, what do we have here, guys? What have I taught you guys and other people about moving averages? They're also a form of support. They just go diagonal. So 1, 2, 3 moving averages are stacked right here. So if we trickle down into here, you're going to be right on your shares, but you should be able to hold with confidence this 5 to 5.1 level, because now you have 3 moving averages that you can see we're up over it. They bounce very nicely. So trickle in and dollar cost average, just buy a little bit, buy a little bit. And then when you get down to here, for me, again, I'm just using 500 as a number. If you should be in, if you're told position 500 bucks, and then just hope for the best that it moves up in your position and the trade plan works out. But if this 5.0 to 510 gives out, it's going to start looking ugly because we're breaking moving averages, we're breaking support. You never want to see that. And so again, got to have risk management, even if it is shares or leaps. But that's how I'd play that. Again, like I told everyone, send me a DM. I'll be happy to go in depth a little bit more with you. But that's how I would definitely play this as well. Yeah, let's we'll talk flow if we got time afterwards or in DMs, man. I haven't logged in unusual wells in over a week, so I bet there's a lot going on.
Yo, 1K, would you check the Boeing?
What's up?
Boeing, BA.
Oh, Boeing. Yep.
Yeah,
Actually,
I did.
yeah, you're up, man. Perfect. How you doing, Viral?
I'm pretty good. I added on a Friday close Boeing call side. Is that on a key level right now? Either it will do 230 or 200.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Let's see here. You need some longer swings, you said? I think you're a swing trader, right? If I remember.
Yeah, I added the October end and November that I'm looking, but it's on. Even if we see on the left side all the way, 216 is really key level. It can drop or pump.
For sure. Let me get a couple levels here, and we'll definitely take a look at that one. Ugly week. Did that get any news, brother, or any news you see that kind of just, or maybe just
Yeah, the CEO say that manufacturing is slowing down and they lose the certification or something.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, let's see if we can buy a little fear here. Let me get a range going here real quick. I wish I could just do red and green by default. I can only do one at a time. 2023. Let's see if that's enough time. A little range here. Oh yeah. All right. Ugly chart, but dude, when we want to buy the dip, I always say it's got to make sense. This is a spot to make sense for sure. Is this kind of this 212 to 216 kind of same thing you're kind of watching?
Yeah, I started just a starter position. I'm also looking till 210 that I can hold. That's my stop loss around 210. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, man. So hopefully it doesn't get ugly on you, but you have a plan for sure. And then, like I said, I'm not sugarcoating it just because we're talking. Like I like the plan where you're entering, where you're stopping for sure, because you can see we kind of get under that green pocket. It could get ugly, but now we'll zoom left to present day. And this is exactly, again, you guys, it's hard to maybe new traders. Viral's been here a little bit, but new traders, it's like, it's going down. Why are we buying calls? Well, we want to buy calls where it makes sense. And to me, when I see a wick like that, when I see a body close over and bounce, and I see a recent wick like that, this is where you got to try it. And like I said, when we get, we start pushing all-time highs on SPY, and I mentioned a couple weeks past, I'm like, hey guys, we're kind of, those moving averages, we're kind of pretty far extended. We might want to retrace back into it. So look at this to the downside. I mean, we are, I got to do cheating math here, but we're like 6% from our daily 9 moving average. And so every time we get away from the moving average, so this is a really good example right here. So we sold it into support. Look at this big gap here from this yellow dash, or excuse me, damn, I cannot talk. This purple dash line is our 9 moving average. So I'll draw it for you. When we get extended from it, what do? We don't have to bounce this week, but what happens? We bounce, we kind of retrace back to it. Get a little bit extended here, what do? We trace back to it. We were pretty damn far extended here. So this is all right, brother. I'm gonna set an alert. I want to see some price action around here, what we're doing. But yeah, man, this is the spot to try it, because if they bounce, if you got in somewhere down here on Friday, hopefully you did, that is as far as buying at support resistance, that is a good risk to reward play. You're buying it at a support that definitely makes sense. And your top side targets, like I said, you're a decent trader. We talk in DMs. We just look left. So if you catch this bounce here, or anyone watching this, where do we sell? How do I take profit? It's like, well, you look at Friday's price action, bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, let's say we bounce, you're instantly green. Start looking this top side zone here, brother. I'd definitely be looking to trim here. I know you buy a little bit of time on your contracts. Maybe that percent may not be good enough for you, but definitely look to trim there if you can. This Thursday close, like I would say, what do we know about open and closes? That's where the most volume is stacked. So if we push up to here on Tuesday, we kind of trickle in here. Again, it's never that easy, but we see a little bit of kickback there. Don't be surprised there, because that's Thursday's close. There's probably a lot of volume traded there. Friday's open zone could be another target. But if we kind of clear, I know my chart's getting a little messy. If we kind of clear this range, man, if you catch this bounce, it's on, and you catch that reversal, and then it's these big levels to the top side, man. So not a bad setup. Again, ugly chart the last 2 days, but again, guys, he's buying the dip where it makes sense to. You're not just randomly buying it because it's going down. He's buying on a big support. So follow up with me with this week, man. If you make some money on this, I'll be definitely curious on this trade, man. Decent.
Yeah, I got the 225 calls October 17, so 1 month out, and looking like 220, 224 that you have, and then 230. So yeah, that's the plan. And I think the IBM is doing same. It was changing a market structure. Now it's going up, and slowly it's going up. That is also interesting one if you want to see IBM.
Okay, but 1 second. I just want to make sure I get into everyone's. But yeah, we'll circle back around, man. We can talk in DMs for sure.
Yeah.
Long, people are kind of trickling out, which I get. Getting late on the West Coast, but nice request.
Okay.
Yep.
Martin, sounds good.
Yep, Martin or Martine. If you're still here, you want to go over Starbucks, definitely. If you don't mind, go over Starbucks. Follow up on the calls, been out there. Also have shares. Yep. What expiration? I'm sure it's Shark. He's probably got like October or November swings. Stick to his plan, you guys. Obviously his stop loss or whatever he listed, but I'll give you my perspective on Starbucks. Like I said, I don't want to tell you to cut something when you're following his advice. He's a very good trader, but what I'm seeing here, guys, I'm not gonna lie, just kind of like KO, just getting its butt whooped. This 85 was a big support here. Go back to coloring it green just for now. I don't like that sold through. I can't remember where he entered, but you guys are probably right on this trade unless you took an average. But again, broke support and sell. So next chance support. Martine, if you're still in here, or anybody else in Starbucks, 10-17-90 call. Okay, so you're a little bit out of the money, hasn't moved out of your way. But so what I'll be watching here, this again, Shark's got different levels, but this 8150 basically. So we defended it Friday, which is great. And I'm not just picking that level because it was just Friday. So if we look left here, we can see the price action at and around that. Every time we get around there, it provided big bounces. If it pushed over, it fully engulfed it. It provided big moves, bounced it, engulfed to the downside. So that's really what we want to see this week. Obviously, you want to get green as quick as possible. But if we consolidate here, that's a good thing. Obviously, you're not making money on it, but you're not losing any more. So this 81.50, what I was kind of watching, because I figured someone would request this ticker. That's what I want to see. Again, not going to sugarcoat it because it's someone's trade. If we break this, we can see what happens kind of when we get under it. We see big moves under it, a lot of price action on the daily under that. So we really need that to hold. And then it's just plain previous supports that are now resistance on the way up. So if we, if you do get an average down here, if he takes an average at this 81.50, then on the way up, you just find larger time frames. If you take an average here and just say you're green here percent wise, well, you can play the chart or you can play the percent. Obviously, I like to tell you guys to play the chart, but a zoomed in look, and we do just that. So we are stair stepping down, no doubt. But if this holds here and we reverse this downtrend, every time I said stair stepping down, top side and bottom side, those are your targets. So you bottom tick here, you get a new entry here tomorrow. Where do we sell? You start looking here. All these swing highs and lows, there's a reason that they're bouncing here. There's a reason rejecting here. There's volume stacked there. So on the way up, you guys, you look left, you look left, you look left, you start trimming. And then if you got a true run, you're up nice, then you focus on this big level here that should be red right now. But that big level of support that gave out is now resistance on the way up. So first touch, let's just say we get there. Let's say Starbucks has a kick-ass week. We push up halfway Monday, we push up Tuesday. You definitely want to be looking at that price action as we get up to this 85 zone, next week or a week or 2 weeks from now, because sellers are probably parked there to the downside. So big level there. But again, no denying it, stair stepping down. We need to see one of these supports hit and no longer a step down. We want to see it hold and start bouncing and do a trend reversal. That's what we want. Unfortunately, you guys got caught in that trade. It happens. As you know, Shark is a good trader, but nobody is 100% win rate. So that's the level to watch there. It's got to hold, or we're probably going to tick down the 79 zone. If you guys are not in, maybe just wait. If we start trickling down here and people are kind of worried or complaining, the 79 zone is another spot that you want to be watching. That's a very, very big support. Yep, you're welcome, man. But trust Shark, you guys. He's not gonna, he's not gonna let you take a huge deep loss. Hopefully not. He's a good trader, good risk management. All right. All right, I'm trying to make sure, again, I don't want to skip anyone. Rob, yep, you got to go. That's cool, man. No worries. All right.
Okay.
Did I get to everybody? If not, open the mic. Is that you, Ninja?
Just real quick.
What's up, man?
If you have a minute. So, I do apologize. I know it's towards the end of.
Oh, you're fine, man.
session.
I've been on a week vacation. I'll run long for you guys.
So, I was trading Tesla on Friday. I decided to trim early. Didn't expect it to move so much, and I got back in an hour before power hour.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back in, wasn't the greatest trade. I tried to recover my losses. I was holding the position. It was basically a 0-day ETE. I know I should have gotten next week's for more time, but I was just trying to recover what I could. And I noticed that the flow was coming in. There were some calls that were coming in, but they weren't getting filled. And it was mostly shorts at the time. When my orders got market sold, that's when the calls filled in. And then I noticed that the contracts, basically, I was watching the price action on the contracts. They ended up moving. They ended up changing. They were pulling back. They were down a lot, and then it recovered a little bit. But I was trying to figure out why exactly there was this kind of price action going on. I don't know if you have any sort of way to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, markets, I mean, I hope I don't say this incorrectly, but market orders are what moves like aggressively move the market, because people want to get out just instantly. They're like saying, hey, I want to get into Tesla and Chase. I don't care what the price is, market fill me now, or I want to get out. I'm losing on, you know, if you're short or whatever, it's going up. But markets are market orders, I believe. If someone's smarter than me, correct me. But that's what makes it move aggressively. So, you know, passive buying and selling, just kind of, I don't want to say half-assing, but you know, if I have a limit down here at 390, you know, that's not anything aggressive. It's just saying, hey, if we trickle in here, boom, fill my order. And so if you started seeing those orders filled at a key level and then it moved, that was probably it. So it's just basically algorithms like, you know, say you bought here and you're kind of like, hey, it's not really doing much. And then it comes in down to here, this level, and orders are starting to fill and you start seeing the tape light up. Well, it's lighting up at a big support. So I'd say, you know, if it happened at a key level, it totally makes sense. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but you want to watch, you know, like I say, I try to trade around super important levels because I know, you know, I don't have to think about the trade. You know, if I take a call off 390, you know, we get this breakout here. Obviously, it's in hindsight, and I bottom tick on this wick here, and we bounce off 390. I know, or I should expect, the move is very big. If we fail this 390, like if we get a candle like this and it's a real DTE, I know that, like you guys know about my stupid colors and thick lines, it's a key level, and so I know right away there's a lot of price action. There's a lot of interest at this level. The move is most likely going to be big, and that's just kind of how I trade. So, you know, if you got in somewhere, you know, maybe not around a key level. I know these, you know, are very different person to person.
Yeah, it was literally a little bit around where that last line that you drew, and basically it killed my contract. And the thing with Webull that I noticed was 0-day ETEs, they will market sell 30 minutes before end of day if you don't put a price on what you want to sell your contract at. They will market sell it at 30 minutes before immediately. So as soon as that filled, market sold, then the call orders started coming in. And then I was like, wow, okay, now the contracts are starting to move. So I was trying to figure out like why exactly there was that kind of like hold off. Because are you saying that it was at a certain level that it just
I mean, likely,
went
because
out?
you know we're trading. You know, not we don't want to trade against the computers, but we're
Mhm.
trading. You know, it's algos just pushing it back and forth, and you see probably when we get this 390, if we do again, you'll see how much the activity and the volume kicks up and around, you know, and moves. And as we entered probably 400, that was probably a huge move as well, because it's all the computers, you know, if it's a sell order, you know, it's kicking in, or if it's a lot of buys and they want to push it, that's where you see that activity. And that's why kind of, you know, if we break this level, let's just say this is the next big level, if we kind of chop around, it's not really price discovery as like a new thing. It's just no one's really interested in here. They're interested in calls down here, and they're interested in puts and taking profit up at the top. And so, you know, it's people that are just like, hey, I'm in down here. Someone else push it up. I don't want to buy anymore here. Or I'm in up here. I'm taking some profit. You know, you guys, good luck, kind of thing. And so it just comes down to larger time frame charting. I mean, you're pretty good at that. You just kind of want to watch that. But yeah, as far as the auto sell, man, that's tough. But now that you know, just have an active stop or sell order on there for sure, and that way they don't screw you over on that, man.
Another quick question. So when it comes to these kind of volatile moves, whether it's earnings or any sort of breakout, do you recommend 30 minutes, hourly, or 4 hour to watch the candles in order to execute your trades for exit? Because with entrance, you know, usually, I think it's like, do you guys recommend like 15 or 30 to look at the levels to chart?
I mean, I chart every day. I look at the hourly and 30, and I say, okay,
Okay.
you know, Tesla's
Hourly and
around this
30.
level here. I have a level of interest if I want to trade it, and I'll just send an alert like this, literally, and I wait for it to ping. And then when I look for entry, I go down to like the 15. I go, okay, here's my entry. Let's just use 390. That's a better example. So if we back tested that and this alert triggers, I'm down to the 15. And I'm going, okay, I'm watching price action here. Honestly, I probably would have took, if I see an engulfing candle like this on the 15, and you guys know I trade the breakdown, breakout, retest. If I see a candle close like that and we retest this, I probably would have took puts there, and that probably would have stopped me out, especially on 0 DTs. But if I see a support level break and retest, that's everything that's in my tab: breakdown, retest, breakout, retest. That's a trade I would take. And on the flip side, we see a candle close over, the candle opens here, retest, bounce, and then same thing, breakout, retest. That's what you want for calls. And so my entry is based on, like, you know, a 15-minute candle, what it's looking at. but my trade plan is always on the 1 hour. Like I build the trade plan when I say, hey guys, this is where I'm entering. If we close below here, this is where I'm stopping out. This is the reason we're stopping out. And I give you like a wide, 2-chart setup of, hey, why is he stopping out there? Okay, that makes sense. And so, yeah, it's always a larger time frame trade plan, and then my entry is always, based on the 5 minute, or 15.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, let me see if there's any late ones in here. But I know we're on long, guys. You can jet out of here if you have to. Let's see. Looks like just some general discussion. Z, what's on my watch list? Honestly, man, I gotta scan some charts again, but I was looking at my watch list before class, and nothing's making new all-time highs. Citibank, I believe, Citigroup, I would say Citibank. Stuff is just kind of in some consolidation, which I don't hate, because if stuff was in like a big breakout mode, it'd be kind of tough to just dive in this week. But stuff is back in a range on my watch list, what I like to play. A lot of stuff is at or near support, which is not a bad thing. So there's nothing I really love. I mean, just quick charting here. Only thing I was kind of eyeing, open. What a kick-ass. Nice job, Luigi. Nice freaking swing. I think there was one or two here. What was it? I like this Delta Airlines. I'm not in, obviously, because I was on vacation, but I'm looking at this big consolidation. For anyone that cares, it's still here. So this big thick line is 60.72. You see all that price action around there, all that price action around there. We've now broken under that. And so Delta Airlines is kind of one that stands out to me, this 59.88. So if we continue to see buyers, didn't quite get there, buyers. This level here is kind of what I'm watching to possibly play the bounce on that, or any pushes up here and any half-ass breakouts that fail. My risk is very low to take puts on a play like this. Obviously, I want to see the rest of the markets weak too. It just helps with your risk profile. But you can see why I like Delta Airlines. If we were to short this up here, guys, you see when we break under, failed breakout over, failed breakout, kill candle under, kill under, sell through under. That's level I want to watch tomorrow. And actually, I think I need to get an alert set. So Delta Airlines on my watch list is really the only thing that stands out right now. There's not a whole lot. I'm going to take things slow. I might trade tomorrow, might not. I'm not sure. Walmart is interesting. You Walmart lovers, I don't know if anybody's in it, but look at this level here, guys, on Walmart. Oh, come on. Why is that drawing one doing that? Why does that do that? Oh, whatever. Daily chart. Zoom in manually. Walmart is a very interesting spot up here, this upper range here. So not saying we should just blindly short Walmart, but if the markets get weak and this level fails up here on Walmart, this is a low risk trade for puts, because we know our top here, this kind of double, triple top action here from Friday on Walmart. Any breakout and hold, Walmart can leg up for more, but any failed breakouts, we kind of reject this little red zone here. I'm watching Walmart for some puts as well, because we take puts into here, my stop would be something like that. Or if we short here, our risk is even less, because we know if a breakout happens over that zone there, we can get out for a small loss on puts and take some calls. But Walmart puts are pretty nice up here. Just it's a top range. I'm not just shorting it just because I want to get in puts, but it's a very, very nice level on the daily chart here. So I'm kind of watching that as well. Z, are you still in here? I'll do what was that? What was I just looking at? MU. I'll do MU for you, then we'll wrap. But yeah, we're running long, guys. If you guys got to jet out, no worries, man. Appreciate y'all being here for sure. But I'll do MU, and then we'll call it quits. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Super good requests tonight, you guys. Ooh, are you in this one, brother, or just looking? Oh, baby. Look at that weekly. Oh, baby. Don't want to shake you off some calls if you want to get in, but I do not want to be in calls right here, right now. I want to be in calls down here. Yeah, Crash, we're running long. It's all right. Oh, man, we got Sunday Night Football. I have to cut you guys off quick. Nah. All right, weekly double top. So June 17th, 2024, here we are. You don't think levels don't matter? Yes, they do. Look where we stopped out on that weekly candle. So you didn't say if you want to get long or short, that's fine. But if you want to get long, you got to see a continuation hold, meaning you want to see a hold to this level here. Again, consolidation is okay. I mean, sellers are not winning the downside, but you want to see consolidation holding here. So buyers are not ready to give it up yet. So careful, but you can get long here. If we fail, you know your stop loss is small. You're not holding for stuff way down here because you're trying to catch this bounce on top of this weekly double top from what was that 4 years ago? I can't remember what the data had, or was it last year? But anyway, you're trying to catch the top for a breakout continuation more. So again, if you catch calls here, that's fine. Keep riding it up. Ride those EMAs, ride the hourly 20, whatever it is. But if this fails here, again, take your puts where it makes sense. This is a spot to make sense, that it makes sense, excuse me. So we kind of open here, we kind of peter out here, we sell through, we retest it, failed breakout over. That's where you get your puts because your risk is pretty damn small. Oops, ugly drawing here. If you get into puts, my stop loss would be a breakout over high days. So this is your risk zone, and reward is, however big you want to draw it that you think it might go during the day. But you trim down as we enter these little swing pockets, how I like to trade. Definitely want to be trimming here, probably like 155. But again, huge weekly double top potential here on MU. So if you're not in already, might want to wait on some calls. Definitely not where I want to just buy some shares for sure, but decent chart. Well, that, you guys, I'm going to end the chat. I appreciate you sticking around. Even all 12 of you stuck around. I see all the regulars. I see some new faces. Great requests, you guys. Thanks for being here, you guys. I'm going to end the chat. DMs are always open if you need me. I'll check you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you, 1K.
Yep. See you guys.
Later.